Have you ever been mid-sentence telling what you thought was a perfectly good story and you just literally see the life leave your listener's eyes? Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to fix a massive communication mistake that you probably don't even realize you're making. And better yet, we're going to give you the exact framework you need to never lose your listener's attention again. Section 1, the diary entry problem. So picture this. You're hanging out with a friend, or maybe you're chatting with a coworker, and you're telling them a story. And look, nothing is technically wrong with your delivery. The events you're describing are 100% factual. But as you're speaking, they're just giving you that polite, glossy-eyed nod. You can practically hear them thinking, okay, but why are you telling me this? Well, what you're experiencing right there is a total failure to establish stakes. But why does this happen to us? It comes down to a specific trap almost all of us fall into. And that trap is what we call the diary entry style of storytelling. Think about it. Most of the stories we tell sound exactly like a literal diary entry. We're just listing facts. I woke up, and then I went here, and then I did this, and then I came home. It's just an endless sequence of and-thens. Sure, the facts are true, but there is absolutely zero tension. Your listener has no idea why any of it matters. Therefore, they have absolutely no reason to care. To fix this, we have to completely ditch the diary entry and start injecting tension. Section 2, the 5-year-old logic. To really understand why our brains reject the diary entry so strongly, imagine you're sitting on the couch and you flip on a cartoon. On the screen, there's a character just aimlessly pacing back and forth across a room. They do this for 5 straight minutes. I mean, that is incredibly boring, right? You would change the channel in 2 seconds. And why? Because there's no objective. There is literally nothing to root for. But watch how easily we can fix that exact same scene. The moment you introduce a cookie jar on a high shelf, everything changes. Suddenly, you're hooked. You care. The character wants the cookie, but it's totally out of reach. Therefore, they have a tiny mission. You are instantly invested in the outcome. Are they going to get it? Are they going to fall trying? You absolutely need that tiny mission to care about the action on the screen. This is brilliantly illustrated by sports, too. Think of a football match. If nobody tells you the score, or how much time is left, or what these teams are even fighting for, what are you actually watching? It's literally just a bunch of people running around a field in shorts. It means nothing. But the moment you know it's a tied game with 1 minute left for the championship, wow, suddenly every single pass is thrilling. Stakes make the action matter. So the big question is, how do we actually create those stakes in our own daily conversations? Section 3, the Stakes Snapshot framework. Enter the Stakes Snapshot. This is a super simple 3-part framework that you use to frame your story right up front, way before you get bogged down in the details. It immediately answers 3 vital questions for your listener. Number 1, want. What did you actually want? Number 2, problem. What got in the way of you getting it? And number 3, change. What was different by the end? By handing your listener this snapshot right out of the gate, you're basically giving them the score of the game before the action even starts. Section 4, make your stories matter. Okay, let's look at an everyday example to see this in action. The flat, diary entry version sounds like this. I went to the gym yesterday and it was packed. I mean, boring, right? Nobody cares. But let's apply our framework. I really wanted to finally get back into the gym, but it was so packed I nearly walked straight back out. By the end, I realized I was more scared of looking awkward than actually exercising. You see the difference there? A totally flat complaint just magically became a highly relatable journey about overcoming insecurity simply by stating your want, the obstacle, and the change. This works incredibly well at the office, too. Instead of giving a dead-end fact like, man, the meeting was awkward, inject your stakes. Try, I really wanted to sound prepared today, but someone hit me with a question I wasn't ready for. By the end of it, I learned I really need to slow down before answering. Boom, you just created a compelling mini-narrative about your own professional growth. What about just casual small talk? We all complain about commuting, right? My train was delayed. Well, let's transform that. I was trying so hard to get somewhere on time, but the train just stopped for 20 minutes. But it turned into this weirdly cool moment where everyone in the carriage actually started talking to each other. Just by adding your want, trying to be on time, you give the other person a reason to actually engage with your story. And finally, this works for personal milestones. Instead of just announcing, I practiced speaking today, give them the tension. I wanted so badly to avoid this one conversation, but I forced myself to stay in it. It showed me that my fear usually peaks before I even start. Changing a simple statement of fact into a moment of you facing your fear, that gives the listener a clear reason to root for you. You just gave them the cookie jar. But look, knowing this theory is great and all, But how do you actually start doing this today? Section 5. How to start today. The good news is you don't have to overhaul your entire communication style overnight. We can break this down into 3 progressive levels of implementation. Think of it kind of like a video game. You've got easy mode, medium mode, and challenge mode. You just pick the level you're comfortable with right now. Let's break those down. You can start on easy mode by simply stating your want in a single sentence right before your story. Like, I was just trying to get through the meeting without freezing. Instant context. Step up to medium mode by adding the obstacle. I was trying to get through the meeting without freezing, but then my manager asked me a question in front of everyone. Okay, now we have real tension. Or if you're feeling bold, take challenge mode today. Tell a full 1-minute snapshot story, covering the want, the problem, and the change. Now, I want to clear up a massive misconception here. The goal is not to make everything dramatic. You aren't trying to invent some fake Hollywood drama, okay? You don't need explosions or tears. The actual goal is simply to make the listener understand why the moment mattered. You're just giving them the necessary context, the stakes, so they can accurately value the experience you're sharing. So as we wrap up this explainer and you head into your next meeting or sit down for dinner or grab coffee with a friend, I want you to ask yourself this one question. What is the tiny mission that will drive your narrative? Because the absolute second you find that mission, you stop reciting a boring diary entry and you start telling a story people actually can't wait to hear.